Stick around for a brand new episode of Common Agenda for you coming up next.
Hey guys, hey Dad, it's the beginning of baseball season today.
Wait, did you do that just for the graphic?
Yep.
Hey, I'm Claire Kerr.
And I'm Chantelle Bacigalupo, and get ready for the Common Agenda.
Hey there, kids. I'm your host, Claire Kerr, and welcome to a brand new episode of the binge-worthy series, Common Agenda, the show that brings you the news, upcoming events, and more from around our sweet, sweet Emerson College. I hope you all had a lovely weekend. Maybe you went to a party in Alston that was just okay, or maybe you finally got caught up for tonight's How I Met Your Mother finale. Either way, we're happy to have you. Without further ado, let's do the news. Do you want to be an M-celeb? Evie's submissions are closing tomorrow. For those of you who have been living under a rock, the Evie's is an Emerson student-run awards show which honors students for their hard work. Industry and big-name judges review the students' work, and if you win an Evie, you get major bragging rights. Don't let this opportunity pass you by. Emerson is going to be blue abadi abadai. No, it's not sad about the rainy and gloomy spring weather. It's going blue for World Autism Awareness Day. On April 2nd, the Paramount Center's video wall that faces Washington Street will be lighting up all in blue. Also, look out for blue balloons and ribbons in the Little Building.
Wait, do you remember that old-time hit, Blue Abadi? You know what I'm saying?
Do I remember? Hit it. I'm blue, abadi abadai, abadi abadai. Oh wait,
Abadi,
Chantelle,
abadai,
hold on. Don't even bother applying for an Evie's Award because I'm obviously going to win Best On-Air TV Personality.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. At least I wasn't the one wearing a green mustache.
Hey, that was one time and I shaved it off.
Yeah, move over, let the real host do her job. Now, Emerson alum David Allen Bache, an actor on the television show The X's, came by Emerson LA to speak with the students about his life as a working actor. When he got there, he talked about how impressed he was with the new campus. He said that he wished Emerson LA was there when he was a student. Sounds like someone's a little jelly. It's okay though, David, you're living in LA full-time as a working actor. That is the true Emersonian dream. Now, Emerson's Engagement Game Lab joined forces with the Dudley Street Neighborhood Initiative to launch a new online game. The game, called The Promise of Dudley Village Campus, was designed for members of the Dudley community to share ideas and goals while promoting people and events in the community, now through April 18th. Why doesn't Emerson have one of these sites for our campus? Many of you didn't like our Shift to Before Suffolk segment last week, so Ian Sutherland is back again to right our wrongs in another edition of After Emerson.
We're here in the financial district of Boston and over at Hill Holiday. Today we got to talk to Kate Goodman, who's on the production team of Hill Holiday, which is the 14th top advertising agency in the U.S. Kate gave us a lot of information about what she does here and about her time at Emerson as well. Let's have a look at the interview.
Kate, thank you so much for being with us and providing us with this gorgeous view. A little bit of Boston Harbor over there. Thanks so much for being with us.
Yeah, thanks for inviting me.
Of course. My first question for you is, what year did you graduate from Emerson College and what did you study when you were there?
I graduated in December of 2010 and I studied marketing communications with a concentration in advertising.
Okay, awesome. Now you're working at this great company, Hill Holiday. Can you tell us a little bit about what you do here?
I am the post-production coordinator for our in-house editorial suite, which is called The Bubble. And we do in-house productions from filming to editorial and finishing, and we also edit commercials, do revisions to TV spots, all sorts of stuff.
Were there any programs, classes, or internships you took at Emerson that launched you into this particular career field?
I think when I first learned that I wanted to be in commercial production, I was working at, I was interning at a company called Brickyard, which does visual effects and post-production for commercials. So I learned the back end of finishing commercials and all the special effects, and I didn't understand necessarily the technical side of it. I wasn't going to become a visual effects artist or a flame artist, but I started to understand what goes into getting a commercial to that point, and talking to the producers there and realizing that there's this whole field of advertising and commercial production that is extremely interesting and something that you wouldn't necessarily learn in a regular class, but you're exposed to it within the industry and within Boston.
Do you have any advice to current Emersonians?
I think what I would say to Emerson students would be, you work really hard as it is, just remember to relax because college doesn't last forever, and enjoy it.
So thank you so much, Kate, for being with us today.
Thank you.
We had a great time talking to you and learning a little bit more about Hill Holiday and what you do here. With After Emerson, for Common Agenda, I'm Ian Sutherland. Thanks for watching, guys.
Thanks, guys.
Well, thanks, Ian. And today we're here with Rafie and Sara Menendez from Humans of Emerson. Welcome to the show, guys.
Thank you very much.
So, for people who are unfamiliar with the page, do you want to explain a little bit what it's about?
Yeah, so Humans of Emerson started off the idea of Humans of New York, which is this guy that just started picking up his camera and went around New York and started talking to people. And whenever he would talk to someone, he would realize that, wow, everyone has a beautiful story to tell. So he would take a picture of them and then take the best caption of what was the most powerful in this story and then put it on Facebook. And so he created this social interaction for everyone to really share their ideas and stories. And we thought that Emerson was the perfect place to do the same thing.
I totally agree.
Yeah.
So, how did you guys get together to make this idea and make this project?
Maya was my RNT, and we went to the MFA once to see a photo exposition, and I started talking to her about I was really into this Humans of whatever movement, and she talked to me about how she got to meet the guy from Humans of San Francisco that got her also really into the idea, and we just decided that it would be awesome to do it together, and that was it.
Absolutely. So, for us lucky Emersonians who get to be a part of this, also, how do you pick out the people on the street that you really want to be on the page?
Well, it really depends. I mean, sometimes people will come up to us and be like, I want to be on the page. And like they'll jump around or have awesome costumes or whatever, you know? But sometimes it's mostly like we always have our camera on us, so we'll walk around and we'll, sometimes you see people that are quite shy and they're alone, so we'll go up to them and start having conversation. And if they're not like very comfortable, we'll have some questions to ask them, and then really that's where the story comes up. So it really depends on what's going on around us.
And you said you picked the most powerful quote of what they say. I mean, that's how other pages do it. So how do you have a certain way to decide what you want to put on there, what you want to portray?
I mean, how Maya said, some people are really shy, so we have some questions already written, and we ask just like, what's your biggest fear or whatever, and that gets them going and just talking about themselves and how like they perceive themselves or their dreams or whatever, and we just go through that and just decide what reflects like the personality of this person we just met, and that
also what people will
phrase.
be able to like react to and recognize themselves with the other person too.
Okay, so now it's going to be flipped around. How do you perceive yourself? Where do you see this project going?
Well, we plan on doing it until we graduate. So she's a year older, so I'm going to be doing it. But I mean, I think it's a beautiful thing to keep up with. So it's always going to be like taking
Something
care of
for
the community.
Emerson, yeah.
Exactly, for Emerson. And I think that after that, someone will eventually pick up our baby and do it.
Well, perfect. I think what you guys are doing is awesome, and I'm really glad you guys were on the show today.
Thank you.
And are you looking for your stage? Mariah Terry knows where you can find it, and they're going to show you in this week's edition of Stage Spotlight.
Hello everyone, I am Mariah Terry, and welcome to this week's Stage Spotlight. Now, I always wondered what happened to those who got cut from the amazing comedy troupes that we talked to earlier in the semester. And I found a group of freshmen who make up many of them. They are Durbin and the Drakefish. Now I talked to a few of them today, and let's see what they had to say.
Now, how did you come up with the idea to make a brand new comedy club when there are already so many troupes here on campus?
Basically, we got rejected. And on top of that, we wanted to make a club that was a lot more inclusive.
So you are head producer, and did you come up with the name Durbin and the Drakefish? 'Cause
Yeah.
It seems a little bit odd.
Yeah, it was named after the last name. There's a kid, Andy Durbin, who's a junior here. We thought it would be funny to name it after someone who isn't in the troupe. And then I have this thing where I like to ask people loudly on the tee what their favorite Drake song is. That, and then at concerts, after the opening act would go, I would turn it to anybody near me and say, is this the Hootie and the Blowfish concert? Until somebody responded, and I would try to start a Hootie and the Blowfish chant.
How did you find out about it exactly?
Maggie Norton actually just told me about it. There was a stretch of time where I didn't really know her, but we had both been in the Jimmy's Traveling All-Star callback and not gotten in. And somehow we're running into each other at the DH all the time, and I mentioned that I was bummed about not getting in, and she was like, oh, well, we're kind of thinking about starting a new one if you're interested, and I just kind of kept posted on it, and found out and went.
All class of 2017, friends originally before this?
Not really. We kind of became friends through this, sort of, which is kind of funny. We had auditions, and over time, me and Zave have hung out, and I've met David, and he's a really cool guy, and Caroline is this amazing writer, and she can sing, and I know that just because we hang out. And it's cool. They originally started out as they were just staff writers in this group we made, and now we're all really good friends.
And that is all we have for this week's Stage Spotlight. I'm Mariah Terry, and stick around next week to see what we have in store.
Thanks, Mariah. Now it's time for some upcoming events. It's another eventful week here at Emerson, filled with movie screenings and campus-wide events. From tomorrow until April 6th, Arts Emerson presents Not by Bread Alone. 11 deaf-blind actors from Israel's groundbreaking Nalagat Theater Ensemble take the audience on a tour through their world of darkness and silence. The cast tells the story through sign, movement, and spoken word. So go down to the Paramount Center main stage to catch this incredibly talented cast of actors share their stories. Smokey, this is not Nom, this is bowling. There are rules. Okay, now as much as I petitioned for the Common Agenda cast and crew to go bowling, it still hasn't happened yet, but to get into the spirit, I'm definitely going to check out the Bright Lights screening of The Big Lebowski tomorrow night at 7 p.m. The movie tells the story of Dude Lebowski and how he is mistaken for a millionaire Lebowski. He seeks restitution for his ruined rug and enlists his bowling buddies to help get it. Now, I asked the crew today if we could get a rug in here because I think it would really tie the room together, but...
Hey, Chantelle, did I ever tell you about the time I was mistaken for Paris Hilton?
No, you didn't, but I don't really know if that's a good thing.
Okay, newsflash, your tacky little rug idea, no one liked it.
Okay, I just thought it would add to the whole feng shui of the area.
Okay, you know where you can put a rug? Somewhere off in a far, far land. Which reminds me, there's a faraway land, so the stories I'll tell. Somewhere beyond the horizon, if we can find it, then all will be well. Troubles there are few. From April 5th to the 6th, the Cabaret Kidding Around presents Seussical, the musical that tells the story of Horton the Elephant, the Cat in the Hat, and other characters from the imagination of Dr. Seuss, including our director and executive producer. I don't think they'll play characters, though. I think they're just in that universe. They come together in this musical that reminds you why you spend hours on your floor of your bedroom trying to rhyme like Dr. Seuss. Tickets are now available. I know a lot of students here at Emerson never consider being doctors, or else we would be at Harvard right now. But it's always good to know how to save a life. April 6th, from 8 a.m. to 12 p.m. in the multipurpose room, students and faculty and staff can attend a CPR class sponsored by the American Red Cross. The class is limited to 20 participants and costs $19, so you better sign up fast. The last day of registration is April 3rd. This class might be a little more informative than watching Patrick Dempsey save lives on Grey's Anatomy every week. Well, that's about all the time we have today on Common Agenda. I'm Claire Kerr signing off. Be sure to tune in Wednesday for another brand new episode. And if you need something to hold you over until then, just remember how you've been meaning to get around to watching Common Agenda episodes on repeat, and just go for it, you silly willy. All right, I'm sorry about that. For all of us here on Common Agenda, thank you for watching. Good night and good luck.